Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm very excited to open up this wonderful day and also to present the prototype Citizen Tales Commons. So basically what I'm going to do today, but first of all, thank you also to my advisor, to the members of my thesis committee, to my cohort, to my friends, the members of the Citizen Tales, my family, my friends, everybody. Thank you so much for making this possible. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to present this model. You should all have one card around. Maybe it's in that table. I had about 20. So this is the prototype that has the title, Citizen Tales Commons. And TALES stands for translators, artists, ludics learners, explorers, storytellers. So I'm going to tell a story about this prototype by trying to answer the basic questions: who we are, what we do, what we offer, where, how, and when. And this is the overview of the presentation. And this is the website that I have created, which holds everything together. And this is the link to that. So, starting with who we are. We are basically a group of adjunct faculty members who lost our voice, and independent scholars who lost our voice in today's academia. In what sense? In the sense that we are considered as an adjunct underclass, without sources, without access to research, or really not having the status or the time to work and do our research as disciplined as we would like to. And independent scholars also joined us. So we are kind of an underrepresented voices, and we wanted to empower ourselves by putting together ourselves, by piecing every piece of ours together, and by finding the power of the collective voice. And this is why you're going to see that the medium that we chose is primarily the podcasting. So, what we offer? We offer an open platform, a platform basically of open communication, cross-pollination, and creative scholarship. And we do this in a multimodal way. That's why we have here, for instance, all the various ways that we work together. So by doing this, we hope that we will create a new model of generating new knowledge and also disseminating it. And we have this idea that this should be a holistic platform of production and dissemination of knowledge. And that's why we chose the symbol of the Ouroboros, which is the Gnostic symbol of self-contained and renewed knowledge. So, more specifically, we offer this multimodal platform of open communication, both spatial and virtual, that is facilitated by the website and, as I said earlier, by the podcasting. We have already one full podcasting episode where we ask the big question, what is citizenship? Because this is the topic around which all this platform works together. So, where we were very, very lucky to have the support of the Engagement Lab, and we held twice a month meetings to think together critically around issues of citizenship that started initially with the Citizen Read initiative by Claudia Rankin, to which we belonged before. And the 7 first members of this chorus, of the Citizen Tales chorus, came from that. So that is ourselves. This is the multimodality of this platform. Podcasting, workshops, lectures, creative scholarship and publications, a new journal is coming soon through the Cervena Barba press, a small press that joined us and will support our journal. We have all the tools of social media and social studies. We incorporated previous forms like the advanced translation workshop that I had. So one into another is a pattern that goes along with the Ouroboros symbol. And here you can see some of the course of our tools, like all we have learned throughout the year in all of our classes, like mood boards, journey maps, user persona maps, lectures, focus groups, all this, the radar exercise we had in Lina's class, for instance, or blogs. Every member could have parallel blogs. And then, why? As I mentioned, our initial design question was, how can I create an hospitable niche space platform for people, scholars, students, and others, especially adjuncts, who have either felt themselves less empowered or blocked as citizens, or they have witnessed others as such at some point in their lives, so that they can raise their voices and reclaim their rights as citizens. And I use the term citizen in the broad sense that Professor Peter Levine uses it and he holds the position of Professor of Citizenship. So citizen is someone who seriously asks the question, what should we do? And so then, after that, my initial question was reframed as follows. What should we do to empower adjuncts beyond unionization? A question both practical and ethical. And why beyond unionization? Because they do a great job in practical issues, but we wanted something more of that. We wanted this physical space that empowers everyone, that is a process that empowers by following all the 4 activities that Professor Eric Gordon and Gabriel Lugar so thoughtfully have created in this idea of building a network or holding a space, giving reciprocal feedback, constant feedback, and all of these ideas were incorporated in the practice. So in a way we were practicing democracy, and that's how the piece of chorus comes together if we tie it back to the ancient Greek democracy, where the chorus was both the I and the we voice, and was directly linked to the voice of the people and the idea of the direct democracy. So this adjunct model became also a model for making this surplus as a plus, because the adjuncts were considered in today's academia as a surplus, as not needed, as misfit, as something not necessarily needed. But we thought that we can turn it to a plus by taking the best of every institution, every part, every theory, every idea through cross-pollination. So that is where I really found theoretical support in a chorus of wonderful theorists and cultural theorists and philosophers. And you can see here, for instance, Jacques Rancière, who really gave me the substance of the core ideas that we discussed, like the distribution of the sensible, the civic spectacle, the emancipated spectator, and direct democracy, etc. And Claudia Rankin, that started this whole with the question that she asked when she wrote The Citizen and American Lyric in response to the Katrina hurricane in 2005, when she said, how should I go further? What should I do? And because that was the moment when the racial divide was unearthed. They were not prepared, and she asked the question, why? So, in a way, you can see who else is figuring there, and also the main ideas that hold together hold us together, but also help us to go deeper into our inquiry, into our critical inquiry. You see some ideas here: equality of intelligence, this idea that we all start with this equality of intelligence as a prerequisite. It's not the end goal. It's just very important for us. And that's why I say this is really a practice of democracy, which we all share. So this course of ideas helped us in the process. And I mentioned already the citizen read. And so we have some proof of effectiveness. We were just 7 members in the beginning. Now we are 19. Last week I launched it through Facebook and I immediately received more requests through a form that we have in the Join Us, as you can visit and see. And we have 5 more in the making and in the process of uploading. But they also, the interesting thing was that partners, besides the initial partners like the Missing Link or the Engagement Lab or the Mellon School of Theater, etc., were part. We have 2 new partners, the Sherman & Barbara Press that I mentioned earlier, and the Culture House, which is a pop-up space that facilitates our job basically because it's for free. And then we have a panel in Nebula Conference in March 2015. We also have a traveling exhibition. We hope the one that we're going to have is going to happen again through the Culture House. We also have a poetry reading at the New Orleans Poetry Festival. We have, as I mentioned, the Citizen Tales Journal. And I know that we're going to have mentorship, individual collaborations, and the managing and funding will be the big challenges. So lessons we learned. We learned that working as a Greek chorus helps us practice democracy, raise both our individual voices and collective voice, and podcasting works miracles. And this is the transformative power of the collective voice. So in that way, we can really turn the surplus of the adjunct faculty or independent scholars to a plus in academia. Thank you. I'm looking forward to your questions and feedback.
Okay. We have 10 minutes for questions. I can start with one. So thank you for this work. It's really inspiring. I guess my first question is, I'm wondering what the connection is. So because it seems like there's a lot that's going to this platform, and I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit more explicitly about I'm really taken by the idea of the adjunct underclass and providing a platform of support, but then there's kind of all the theories around citizenship and social justice. So was that theoretical base decided on by the adjunct group, or was that just like, how does that connect to the idea that there is an adjunct underclass, instead of just advocating for them in institutions and giving more voice? You're advocating for them as also a focus on some type of civic empowerment and social justice.
This is a great question. This happened really imperceptibly by the way, little by little, people joined us. It was like an appeal to these people who were learning about this module, this kernel, if you want. And by joining us, having also a semester just talking about these things, we